It's a cold and foggy November 5th morning, and I am doing my chores. I'm getting ready to let the horses out on the field. I kept them all in last night in separate pens. I do this once in a while when they all start getting that kind of entitled feralness. They're living out in a pasture full time will make horses get that way. So once in a while I have to remind them that they're actually broke horses. Here is old wood from the 100-year-old homestead. So this is what the fences did look like. And of course I went and bought a whole truckload of preferred panels and just redid a lot of this homestead with nice, safe panels. In this old barn, we redid all the walls inside to make sure it's safe. And then we kept that old windbreak. So some of this stuff's over 100 years old. My old boxcar out there, it looks bad on the outside, but the whole inside is all lined with fresh oak. I think we store hay in there, but they used to store grain in there. So on the subject of grain, we have these little mouse catchers. This place was overrun with spiders and rats and mice and snakes and big spiders. When I moved in here and there was like 100 wolf spiders in the yard. I didn't like spiders, and it was tough when I first moved here. I was kind of felt like Green Acres 25 years ago. This place was completely full of junk. All of this, there's a burn pile there of wood, but most of the ranch had metal and debris, really dangerous stuff, really bad for horses. So we did a lot of just scraping the ground and hauling away all kinds of farm tools and things that had gone to heck. Anyway, love these upside down tire feeders. I turn them like this so the horses can't toss their hay out. Always try to have a salt block in every one. Cashmere is in training at the moment to learn to be more patient. See, she thinks that she needs to be with the other horses. But you know, if I take her to a horse show and I want to put her in a box stall overnight, I'd sure like to have her emotions in check so she doesn't make herself sick. You know, horses have to learn to intelligently deal with things. And how are they going to learn if we don't teach them? So I do my training stable. Sometimes I'll put a horse by themselves for a little bit. Don't want to have a full-blown anxiety attack. And here's our new horse. He's been here less than a week. We've determined that he must be part percheron. But he moves like fancy dressage horse. He is very fancy. He also jumps cute. And then out in the other preferred panels, way out over there, is Krista. She's by herself. There's a pen there with water. I like to put them by themselves for a while so they just have a little time to remember that they know how to go to horse shows. If they run loose too much for too long, they forget that they're even broke. Oh yeah. Hi there, big guy. You're so beautiful. Such a nice horse. This is one of those horses with the perfect plain cowlick between the eyes. You know, a perfect plain single cowlick right between the eyes. It's kind of under his forelock there, but I think you can see it. So many horses today have that double cowlick. They are different to train. These horses with just that plain single cowlick, it's almost like they were born trained. Here's a double cowlick horse. This is our jumper. This is Cashmere. She is related to Seattle Slough. You can see that look on her. She looks like the Slough. And she's also got some Secretariat in there, which is the Bold Ruler, Nasrullah line. And I always like them for jumpers. So she's a jumper. She used to be a racehorse. She's got her tattoo. And she's learning to be a Montana horse. She's like, open the gate now. See, she's a racehorse. She's used to people as being her servants. please clean my room. Please bring me more room service. But she used to be a racehorse. She knows what it's like to be hauled and live in a stall. She's got her little cat friends there keeping her company. So this is me doing my chores. It's cold enough that I wish I had gloves on, but I can't make these videos when I'm wearing gloves. So sweetheart here, I'll be back pretty soon. I'm going to go feed all the cats. Find some chores to do while I observe her. Because if I'm going to take her to horse shows, I want her not to be so restless. I guess the cats are helping themselves to the horse pellets. Little rascals. They think it's food. Because she's a little bit the way she is. Thoroughbreds. They'll take a bite of food, then walk around and chew while all the food falls out. Just some of that thoroughbred stuff. There she goes, see. They have their walk. A lot of them will take a bite, walk around, take a bite, walk around. And they're never going to be like a quarter horse or a ranch horse or a part draft horse. They are like greyhounds. See, oh, she saved some of it to throw back in the bucket. Anyway, I can only feed her a few bites at a time, or basically most of the food ends up in the ground. Just part of knowing about racehorses. They need a lot of care. See, so she's got her head down in there chewing, and that's a really good sign. She's going to settle enough to actually eat her food. You know, we're the ones that have to teach horses to settle. And settling isn't running them around or making them tired. It's like being there for them in a certain way, and they start to realize that you're their person. You know, those famous racehorses, they have a team of people they call the connections. And you watch those races, the Breeders' Cups, and you see how those horses behave because of their connections. They know all those people are around them 24 hours a day. They never leave those horses alone. So just taking this time, you know, I used to feed her a handful at a time and try to pet her. So she's all by herself. The other horses went out to the pasture, and she settled down and says, I think food's a good thing. Okay, she's all, I better go check out the people, the horses. I'm checking it out. So this is kind of a long video, but it's my morning. This is what I do on my Montana homestead. I'm a retired Grand Prix jumper rider from California, but that was a long time ago, 70s and 80s. So now since the 90s, I've been living in Montana. Whoops. She's all, I ate what you gave me. I'll take some more. So them wanting is kind of a good thing for their appetite. She's like, I want more. And that's a good sign. You know, your thoroughbred settles down and says, I want more. And then we have the tiniest little barn cat over here, which is really feral. And I don't know how close I'll get before she bolts. But this is one of the kittens I'm trying to find a home for. I have 2 tortoise shells. I named them Tahiti and Bombay. Oh, there she, oh, she's bolting. Here's the mother kitty, which is basically the baby machine. But I've got her tame enough that I'm going to be able to take her. Good girl. Now this was a super feral, crazy cat, and I'm really tickled that she's gotten this friendly. Hi there. Hi, see her tail? I call her Foxy because she looks like she's got a tip on her tail like a fox. Look at that. She's going to be able to get loaded up in that cage and take her to get fixed. Yeah, good thing, Mommy, because you had 9 freaking kittens this summer. That little cat right there had 9 kittens under my boxcar in 3 litters ever since June 16th hailstorm. So yes, they are hungry, and yes, I'm going to feed them. But I'm feeding them inside their carrying cages because they're getting ready to all go get fixed. Yeah, that's Zeus. Hi, Zeus. How's it going? So, Cashmere's taking the walk. I have these really great deep run-in sheds. I'm just showing you what my morning's like. I got these deep run-in sheds, but I definitely have some hot wire running across the back so they don't chew all of that nice wood. So this is a great little place to work. We got great run-in sheds facing south, and then we have that round pen there. So anyway, goodbye from the Country Charm Pony Farm, and please subscribe to my channel. Helps me make more fun videos.